During the first few days of wipe, many players struggle to find many of the different items that are required for tasks. One of the most infamous items required for tasks are the flash drives, which are needed very early on for a few different tasks. I've seen players struggle to find these task items for literal weeks while searching for flash drives. I've tested many different containers and strategies for looting flash drives and have narrowed down the best options for finding those flash drives for your skier quest, your Jaeger quest, and for the dog tag case barter. All of the numbers that I'll be referencing in this video will be based off of the experiments that I completed while looting 1000 of each container in Tarkov. For more information on those containers, I recommend watching the specific video for each one of those containers. In addition, I don't recommend taking any of these numbers as absolutes, more of like estimations for what you should expect when looking for these items. Let's talk about where to find flash drives and escape from Tarkov. There are many different reasons that you'll want to be collecting flash drives early on in Escape from Tarkov during a wipe. The first obvious ones being the tasks associated with them, being what's on the flash drive from Skier and the shady business task from Jaeger, one requiring 2 and one requiring 3. However, there's another big reason that you want to be collecting flash drives early that a lot of people forget about, which is to get that dog tag case barter early on so that your dog tags are not taking up your entire inventory with all those level 1 and 2 dog tags. The most important thing with these flash drives, as mentioned earlier, is collecting them early. You'll need 8 of these flash drives to complete the 2 quests and get your dog tag case, and you want to get these pretty early on so you're not searching for them or getting locked behind those quests when you arrive at them. So you want to be trying to look for these during your first few raids or during your scav runs if you're able to before reaching those tasks, just so that you're not stuck on that task searching for flash drives when there's another task right behind it that you could complete while searching for other items that you have to find. We will be specifically looking at a lot of the different containers, mainly because they're one of the more reliable ways to find flash drives, and they seem to be much more reliable than the loose spawns. However, we will still be addressing some of those loose spawns throughout this video. In the background, I will have myself running a raid, looting filing cabinets as quickly as possible and getting as many flash drives as possible, and just running to the extract, just to give you an example of how quickly and easily this can be done. The next thing to mention is that if you're going to be looking for these as you do your raids normally, like if you're just going to go to customs and run your normal first raid or run your normal first few raids, then there's going to be different strategies based on whether or not you're going out of your way to get flash drives or if you're just looting them while running your normal raids. So if you're trying to loot these flash drives while you're just playing normally, my first few recommendations are to hit any of the filing cabinets that you come across, any of the safes that you come across. Especially if you're on customs, you want to hit as many of the safes as you can. So if you can, hit jackets along your way to dorms, hit all the jackets in dorms, see if you can get any of the safe keys in dorms, and then check those safes for the flash drives. In addition to that, there's a ton of different filing cabinets inside of dorms, so while you're in there, you want to hit those filing cabinets if possible. In addition to this, if you're going to run your scav in between those normal raids, take your scav to reserve if you can get in, or back to customs and hit the dorms and hit as many filing cabinets as you can. If you are hitting filing cabinets consistently and then leaving the raids once you fill up with 1-2 flash drives or just fill your bag, you will get your flash drives before you even reach the skier quest that requires them. That's the first checkpoint, is going to be that skier task. You only need 2 right there, and then in addition to that, if you get 5 before that, you can go ahead and get that dog tag case barter as soon as you get to that 5th flash drive. The other big reason that you want to be running your scavs to whatever map you're doing early on as possible, it seems that early on in the wipes is when the scav karma is being used to its fullest potential. So that's when you want to be taking advantage of your scav to find these quest items early on as much as possible. There are a few extra locations that I do just want to mention when you're running these raids, if you're on custom specifically, that seem to have a pretty common flash drive spawn. The first one is the campsite on the gas station side of dorms. There's a guitar and it's kind of hidden like behind the guitar. This has netted me multiple different flash drives, and a lot of times it gets me my last flash drive that I need for the wipe early on. Even though it doesn't spawn very consistently, I do see it and usually get one there every wipe, and so I definitely recommend checking it if you're one away or if you're close to it. Just check it as you run by. If you get it, it's a free flash drive. If you don't, keep checking your filing cabinets. The other spot is that a lot of people mention that you can find the flash drives in the front of computers. There is one computer that I do find these inconsistently, and that is the one that's in the Tarkov director's office, where you have to go up, unlock the door, and then it's the first door on the right. The computer closest to the window, I seem to consistently find flash drives in that computer. So I highly recommend checking that spot, and that might be overlooked by a lot of different players if they're not going up there to do delivery from the past early on. As mentioned earlier on, if you are able to get any keys to any of the safe rooms, these increase your chances of finding a flash drive drastically. Safes have a slightly better chance of having flash drives in them than filing cabinets. However, there's just a whole lot more filing cabinets on a map. So safes, you're looking at around a 4.5% chance of getting a flash drive whenever you're looting them. And then with filing cabinets, you're looking at around a 3%. So what you want to be doing is, if you can get any of those safe keys, you want to be throwing those in your secure container and hitting those as well while you're running these raids on customs. Those safes will drastically improve your chances of getting your flash drives before you reach the quest. If you haven't found any of the safe keys, strongly recommend running through dorms while you're doing your raid, or on your scav, running through dorms or running through reserve and hitting as many jackets as you possibly can. This just gives you the best chance of getting those safe keys, taking those, putting those in your secure container, and then using those in your next raid to start hitting the safes every single raid and getting you closer to those 8 flash drives that you need. If for whatever reason you're getting really close to that flash drive quest and have not found any, or are struggling to find many, then my personal recommendation is to take a very low gear run, like maybe an SKS, a PACA, and a rig, go to reserve, and then loot as many filing cabinets as you can, as that map has the most filing cabinets, and then run directly to the sewer manhole extract. Just fill your rig, check the rest of the filing cabinets in the building that you're in, and then run directly to the extraction. Start over, do it again. You can net usually about 1 to 2 flash drives an hour doing this, and this can very quickly get you to the first 2 flash drives, and then very quickly get you to the 8 after that. One other thing to add to your reserve runs, if you're able to, if you can get any of the keys to the dome building, being the RBKORL or the RBRLSSA keys, these are really great buildings to hit for your filing cabinets. And when you hit those filing cabinets, you have 2 in one room and 3 in the other. There's also some good loot on the shelves and some intelligence spawns. And then on your way down to sewer manhole, the little red building that's at the bottom of the hill also has 2 filing cabinets in it as well. So this is a great route where you get a total of 7 filing cabinets on a very quick route that will take you about 7 to 8 minutes. So you should be hitting them and getting to the sewer manhole right about the time you can extract. So if you can get these 2 keys, it would be really great to start up there at dome and then hit those and then run down to the extraction. To get into a few specifics, if you're going to be farming one particular type of container for flash drives, which is kind of what I look to do whenever I'm playing, you're going to be looking at hitting around 67 filing cabinets for that first skier quest, which is the big one that you want to hit because you don't have as much time to hit that one as you do the other ones. It'll take about 100 of those filing cabinets after the 67 for you to hit the ones that you need for the Jaeger quest. It'll also take about 100 for you to hit the dog tag case barter as well. Overall, it's about a 3% spawn chance, like I mentioned before, in the filing cabinets. But for an entire filing cabinet, that's really not a bad rate. And it's really not a bad rate for anyone who's ever played an MMO in the past. For safes, you'll be looking at a similar number, but a little bit lower. You'll be looking at about 40 safes for the skier quest, and then about 60 for the dog tag case barter or for the Jaeger quest as well. With safes, you're looking at around a 4.5% chance, like I mentioned earlier, which is noticeably higher than filing cabinets, but due to the limited amount of safes, this doesn't always pan out to being your best option. So I personally recommend the filing cabinets if you're going to farm one particular kind of container, but if you're near a safe or if you get a safe room key, it's definitely worth checking it if you're able to. The final container that is worth checking, it doesn't have a very consistent or high spawn rate for flash drives, but any of the stashes seem to spawn flash drives about 1 in every 100. So I do recommend, if you're beside one, definitely need to check it. You're probably not going to get a flash drive, but with all the other valuable items that you can get day 1 of wipe, it's definitely worth checking them, and you might get lucky and hit a flash drive there as well. Some of the best routes that I do want to mention one more time, just to go over everything and make sure that it's as clear as possible. Any of the reserve filing cabinets, any spawn, hit the filing cabinets on your way to the extraction, and then just leave. This is probably my personal favorite, just because I'm very familiar with reserve. I really like running the map, and the filing cabinets, due to the sheer amount of them, are just everywhere. So hit them, run to the extraction. You'll probably get about, either, like I said before, 1 to 2 an hour, but really it should be more like 1 to 2 a raid. The other best route would be through the customs dorms, hitting the filing cabinets there, hitting the jackets there, getting the safe room keys, and then taking that and leaving at the car if able to, or going to the extraction. I would like to mention that in addition to any of the routes, running your scav, I have also had my scav spawn with flash drives in his bag or in his pockets. And in addition to that, checking every scav that you kill, because a lot of scavs will spawn with those flash drives in their bags or in their pockets. So I highly recommend checking them if they're in a safe place as well, because that is another great opportunity for you to get a flash drive. Flash drives are treated by so many people as something that are difficult to find, but if you really just put your mind to it, stay consistent, and focus on gathering them, they're really not difficult at all. I have only struggled on one wipe to find these flash drives, and I was just getting absolutely terrible RNG during that playthrough. Hopefully this video gave you a path to find your flash drives faster and easier with the clear routes and everything on how to get them, clear goals, and also where to find them more reliably rather than just hoping that you find one while playing. If this video helped you at all, it would be greatly appreciated if you would drop a like and comment down below and let me know if you think that this is going to help you speed up the rate at which you find your flash drives early wipe. If this helped you get your flash drives any faster, it would be greatly appreciated if you would come back and let me know how much faster you got those flash drives, just so I can see kind of the results of how this helped players. If you'd like to see more content like this, I'd recommend checking out the wipe playlist, which I'll have, which addresses a lot of the issues that a lot of players go through when a wipe first happens. In addition to that, if you're a newer player, I'll have a Lost in Tarkov playlist for you available. So go click that playlist. That's just going to go over some of the basics as you're struggling to get into a game with such a high learning curve. That will go over some of those basics for you and kind of address some of the problems that a lot of new players seem to have when joining Escape from Tarkov. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.